Hello, good to all. Myself, Dr. Dakshayani, Assistant Professor of Chemistry. Today we are going to discuss about the topic fractional distillation of coal tar for the course BSc subject chemistry, paper fuel chemistry. This session contains fractional distillation of coal tar, treatment of fractions to obtain desired compounds with respective temperature. Before we go for this fractional distillation of coal tar, let us know about the definition of coal tar. Then we have to remember the recap of previous session, how coal tar is obtained from the destructive distillation of bituminous powdered coke at a temperature of 1100 degrees centigrade. So from that we are going to obtain a black viscous liquid, that one what we called as a coal tar. It is a black, viscous, sometimes semi-solid fluid of peculiar smell, which is condensed together with aqueous gas liquor, that is what we called as an ammonical liquor, when the volatile products of the carbonization of coking coal are cooled down. And this is the one of the byproduct of a carbonization of coking coal for the production of metallurgical coke. The normal yield of coal tar during the coal carbonization process is around 4%. Coal tar has specific gravity normally in the range of 1.12 to 1.20, but expectationally it can go up to 1.25. It depends on the temperature of carbonization, and also the whatever the heat of that the coal tar, it is also depending on this carbonization process. The coal tar compounds, which are acidic, basic and neutral in nature. Phenols and cresol etc. are acidic in nature. Pyridine, phenolene and their homologous in basics. Hydrocarbons of aromatic series, that is benzene, toluene, naphthalene, these are all anthracene and phenanthroline etc. Here the types of carbonization, that is how coal tar that will be obtained from high temperature carbonization and low temperature carbonization. So high temperature carbonization, the process we are going to proceed under the temperature 1100 to 1140 degrees centigrade. Then that carbonization, what we called as a high temperature carbonization, the temperature around 500 to 750 degrees centigrade, that is what we called as a low temperature carbonization. So the main difference between high temperature carbonization and low temperature carbonization is the product which is obtained, such as paraffin, naphthalene and alkali aromatic compounds, are large in the case of HTC or high temperature carbonization compared to low temperature carbonization. The aromatic compound such as benzene, naphthalene is also large in the case of HTC compared to LTC, and the pitch that can be obtained as a residue is also more in the case of HTC. Specific gravity of this coal tar is also more in the case of HTC. But the composition of these aromatic compounds of this HTC does not vary much, but the composition of tar varies widely in the case of LTC. First, we go for the fractional distillation of coal tar. Here, the distillation of coal tar is carried out mainly to produce benzol, naphtha, creosotes, naphthalene, anthracene, carbolic acids, and also pyridine, and finally pitch also. The purpose of tar distillation is to dehydrate the tar in the dehydration column. Then whatever the coal tar which is obtained from the carbonization or a coking of coal, the tar which contains a little bit amount of water and also ammonia in that, before you are going to subject it, for that we have to remove the pitch and also ammonical liquor, and it can be dehydrated. So therefore, first dehydrated tar in the dehydration column, then remove the pitch from dehydrated tar in pitch column, and separate tar oils in fractionating column. The design and composition of the tar distillation plants varies with the type of tar and the compounds which are required to be distilled. That's the first thing, dehydration of tar in the dehydration column, but it's also we called as a tar still. This still made up of a steel tank and covered with a fire bricks. The ammonical liquor is separated by dehydrating the tar by heating in a tank fitted with the steam coils, and then allowing the tar to stand. The ammonical liquor, being lighter, forms the upper layer and is removed because it may cause frothing in the still. The tar contains some moisture is withdrawn from the bottom of the tank. So that whatever the dehydrated tar is removed from in the pitch column, that is what we called as a batch still. So batch still, it is made up of a cast iron. It is cylindrical horizontal plate tank. The main hole hem at the top of the charging and withdrawal of the pitch by pumping. The vapor pipe V and a thermometer tube, a safety valve S and inlet type pipe build the furnace. The brickwork A is protect the bottom coming in direct contact with the flame. The flame, for the production of flame, we are going to use it as it may be a coal or a petrol or any fuel in that. So this brickwork protects the direct contact with the flame to your tar steel or a batch steel. The tar is against or every time it is agitated by blowing the superheated steam through the steam coil S1. The specific gravity of the various fractions may also be noted occasionally in the part G before passing them to their receivers, that is R1, R2, R3 and R4 respectively. The tar is allowed to pass into the still through the inlet pipe P. So while it is already hot from the previous operation, when the still is off fill, it is then heated in the still very carefully till the cracking noise in the still ceases. It indicates that now water is present in the tar. The completely dehydrated, it is then heated at a high temperature so that it distillates at different temperature range are collected separately in different receiver such as R2, R1, R3 and R4 at a rate about 4 to 6 gallons per minute. The soft pitch is then collected in coolers than in the storage. Therefore, that is whatever the fraction collected in R1, R2, R3 and R4 in the range of 80 to 170 degrees centigrade, that is what we called as a light oil. It mainly contains benzene, toluene and xylene, and middle oil, that is 170 to 230 degrees centigrade. It contains phenol, naphthalene and creosote and heavy oil. The temperature of distillation is about 230 to 270 degrees centigrade. It contains phenol, creosol, naphthalene. And finally, the anthracene, which contains anthracene only, then at the temperature 270 to 300 degrees centigrade. So whatever the pitch is residue that left in still, it is above 300 degree centigrade. Next, that is whatever we received with a different temperature from the receiver, again further subjected to a fractionating column. So that is what we called as a separate the tar oils in a fractionating column. Fractional distillation of tar refers to the process by which components in a chemical mixture are separated by taking advantage of difference in their boiling point. We already know that whatever we call as the light oil, it is lighter than water, hence called light oil, and it distills between 80 to 170 degree centigrade. It mainly contains benzene, toluene, xylenes and some tar bases such as pyridine, aniline, etc. The acidic and alkaline solution washed and treated with acidic and basic substances. The oil is freed from acid, tar and washed with water. The neutral oil is subjected to fractional distillation. The vapor is fed at the middle of the column and rectification is continuous. The overhead is condensed and we are going to get a pure benzene. The residue flowing from the bottom is distilled and the vapor introduced at the middle of the second column. The overhead is condensed to get a pure toluene. The residue which is again flow from the bottom is again distilled and vapor are let at the middle of the third column. The overhead is again distilled and the vapor are led at the middle of the third column. The overhead is again condensed and to get xylene. The residue from the third column is conveyed to the crude tar tank. As a result, the fractional distillation, the following fractions are obtained. The light oil, that is mainly what we call as a benzols. So from the fractionating this one, 90% benzol, it distills between 80 to 110 degrees centigrade and contains about 70% of benzene and toluene. 50% benzol, it distills between 110 to 125 and contains benzene, toluene and small amount of xylene also. Solvent naphtha or benzene, it distills between 125 to 170 degrees centigrade and contains xylene and mesitylene. So, this we are going to get at a temperature range between 80 to 170 degree centigrade. Next temperature, as we go for the 170 to 230 degree centigrade, that is what we called as a middle oil. It is mainly contains the phenols and naphthalene. So that whatever the residual from the light oil, which is it is transferred to the crystalline pan, is allowed to cool to extract naphthalene crystals within 3 to 4 days, and it is centrifuged with warm water to remove adhering oil. Then it is melted with 79 degrees centigrade and treated with concentrated sulfuric acid to remove phenol. After successive washing, the pure naphthalene is obtained by sublimation. The naphthalene free middle oil is then washed with 7 to 10% of caustic soda solution which dissolved form as a sodium phenate, leaving behind impurities of naphthalene. The alkaline oil is subjected to boil with a steam, and after hydrolysis the small amount of tar is obtained. The solution is cooled with the liquid carbon dioxide in a packed column. It decomposed the sodium phenate into a phenol and sodium carbonate. Here, with different temperature for undergone so that the different fractions we are going to expect to get phenol at the boiling point 181 degrees centigrade, cresols at 190 to 200 degrees centigrade, xylenols boiling point 211 to 225. So if you reduce or cooled up to, that is by using a carbon monoxide, so that is we are going to get high tar acid also. That is what we call carbolic acids. Next, if we distill the between 230 degree centigrade to 270 degree, that is what we called as an heavy oil or creosote oil. It contains mainly phenols, naphthalene, creosols, naphthals and higher phenols. It is extremely used as preservative, fungi and non-toxic to the human system. And the fourth fraction is what we call as an anthracene oil or a green oil. When we distill between 270 to 360 degrees centigrade, this anthracene oil or a green oil contains anthracene, naphthalene, phenanthracene and also fluorine, carboxyl, etc. Here the anthracene, the fraction which contains not only some high boiling point liquid hydrocarbons such as methyl naphthalene, the oil is allowed cooling in shallow tanks for 7 to 15 days. As a result, to get crystallized into a solid containing an crystallized oil. The crystallized oil is squeezed out and anthracene content increased from 15 to 35%. The filter cake is worked for anthracene, carboxyl and phenanthracene. The resulting cake as powdered and solvent naphtha to get about 80% pure anthracene. The crude anthracene thus obtained when sublimated yield 90% anthracene, and it is directly used for the manufacture of dyes. The mother liquor is treated and it is dissolved in solvent, naphtha, and the solution is digested with potassium hydroxide or a potassium carbonate As a result of this treatment, carbazole is precipitated as a potassium salt, and it can be separated by centrifuging. The salt is boiled with water to get a carbazole. The final residue, that is if you fractionate, that is above 270 degree, then we are going to get as a black viscous solid, that is what we called as a pitch, that can be obtained as a residue and contains 90 to 94% of carbon. So these are the reference we are going to refer for the preparation of these materials. Thank you.